Welcome back to another segment of the Astro Alchemy series, breaking the behaviors, tapping into this idea of imposter syndrome. And so in the last episode, I spoke about learning yourself beyond your experiencing, shifting from the victim to victorious. And this time I want to talk to you about unveiling a new lens, what this means, and so much more. So make sure, if you haven't watched video 1, you go back so you can understand where this perspective comes from and where we're moving ahead. And so unveiling another perspective, one of the things that supported me in understanding and recognizing more about myself by using astrology was it gave me another lens with which to look through. So not only did I recognize why I became a librarian at such an early age, why also I became a mother at an earlier age, and when and how and what I was going to, and what was my divine connection to Egypt and some of the places that I have gone. And so how this supported me in really learning to understand and dismantle the imposter syndrome was because it allowed me to see myself from a sense of myself, of my passions and my purpose and my power, not my problems, because a lot of those were created by experiences that I had, but the cosmic story that I had was completely different. Just like, even here, just getting my tattoo, right? There was a spiritual imprint that was guiding me to always be attracted to these things. And, what I was, didn't want to do, and the lessons that I needed to learn that I had to overcome. And so using astrology to support me, what I was able to recognize and see is that I had lost my purpose. I had lost my passion. I had lost even my power based on these experiences, external experiences that were causing me, unbalance in my life, in my body, in my spirit. I recently saw something about how certain books in the psycho world that everyone started sharing aren't so good for everyone, and how truly, when I think about the Ma'atan laws that I learned and have practiced for 7 years or several years now, that come from ancient Kemet, that come from the ancient practices of what the Greeks called Egypt, were about being in this harmony and balance, of Ma'at, and that balancing of the scales. And again, if you create karma versus if you don't. And so unveiling this other perspective using astrology really supported me in recognizing truly what my purpose is. So I share here my tattoo, the High Priestess. Again, going back now to myself as the librarian, I knew I was a wisdom keeper and a wisdom seeker. I love research. And when I found out how much I love research, I was like, oh my gosh, librarian, right? At a very early age. And I knew it would be supportive for me as well as a young single mother. And so I dove into librarianship. Plus I love books, and it was a whole love affair. So it wasn't so far off, right? And so again, going back to what I shared last time, divine timing and that decision, because a decision means you've taken action. And so when I signed up for library school, and then became a librarian, and now all these years later, and really recognizing how I've always been driven and leading my life with astrology, especially the moon, given my four placements of the moon and my very strong connection to the moon and as a Cancer stellium. And so again, that's divine timing, and then that sacred shift, being willing and ready. So the Black Psychic Librarian really came out of me bringing together all the elements of who I am and what I do to support. And so that unveiled another side of me, another perspective of how I can share my passion, my power, and my purpose, right? So all the things that I share now moving forward are really from that new perspective of not just the Black Psychic Librarian, but all of the knowledge I know from my travels, from my, people I know and things I've done and visions I've seen, bringing all of that to what I offer, what I share with, my clients and with, my community. And so this is why when you gain this knowledge of astrology, you get to shed other parts and pieces of yourself that were never in alignment, but were these outside experiences that you had to overcome to reveal something new. And so this is how you begin to, again, continue to dismantle this idea of imposter syndrome. If this is resonating with you, beloved, I would love to see some comments below. Let me know how you are feeling about this. If you are feeling the shedding, the sacred shift as we get ready to move into this shedding experience of a new year on the calendar and upcoming, lunar cycle and season that is going to up-level us all in so many amazing ways. So this is resonating. Please make sure you comment, share, like, and of course, subscribe. Send to all your friends so you can continue to break this behavior of imposter syndrome as we continue to go into a new experience, a sacred shift in the world. And stay tuned for more as I will continue to dive into this topic and more into the cycles and seasons and how this supported me also, as well as my clients, in creating these sacred shifts of breaking the behavior of imposter syndrome. So I hope to see you again next time. Ashe.